Hey there, and welcome back to another episode of All the Mods 9, where, in between episodes, I accidentally burned through all of my uranium, and now we just have a ton of cyanite, and I don't think I can access... I can't access my storage system. Whoops. That is a slight issue. I did chuck the plutonium we had into a thing, but no. We are not producing enough power. Now, enough power for the storage system anyway, but it looks like all of this stuff is still running. So I actually think that is where the power is going. And yeah, probably this guy using 10,000. So for now, we'll just stop that. Which will cause all these machines to stop, but we're doing pretty good. We're doing pretty good on osmium and copper anyway. And then we'll just put this here, and I can come back to that, and there we go. Just what I was after. Now, making this because at the moment it's difficult to put a bunch of cyanide into the reactor. Now, I should have perhaps turned the reactors off instead of leaving everything chunk loaded and running, because we probably wasted a fair amount of power. But it's all right. We'll get some more plutonium. We'll chuck this in here. And yeah, we're doing okay now. We're doing okay. We're now making 11,000, so we could run just the just the electrolytic separator. Now, something else that was running as well, but then used all of the power, is the digital miner. And I was just looking to see any uranium? No uranium. Interesting. I suspect. Wait, what? Yeah, I was going to say. That's why it says 0. If we switch this over to. That is uranium, I think. And then we'll just mine up a bit. And then we can get our regular reactors running a bit better. Now, somebody did mention that my reactor designs, as I kind of did suspect, are pretty inefficient, just being a big solid block of the control rods. The top bit's control rods. The other control rods, they are the cell thingies. What are these things? Oh, they are fuel rods. Oh, the fuel rods. Yeah, just having a solid block of fuel rods is pretty inefficient. And apparently a good design is, or at least a better design. I don't know if it's the top design you can get, is just alternating like fuel rod, air, fuel rod, or instead of air you put like diamond blocks or something in there, or whatever the other moderators are that are good for things. I suspect diamonds. I mean, that's a few diamond blocks, but we could go in there and just start replacing the odd one or two. But today I want to at least start getting some sort of building for putting all this stuff in. It's time we move out of this little house, which is, it's got a basement. It's got some stuff in it, but it's not huge, and I don't just want a massive basement underneath a relatively small house. So we are going to be building today. Don't have a great plan for what we're doing. I'll just look up some blocks, and we'll see what kind of industrial type things we can make. There's the iron plating from Ad Astra. That could be nice. Yeah, I'll just have a little bit. It's an expensive way to build. Just have a little bit of a look through some blocks and let's see what we got. All right, I was about to start constructing something, kind of experimenting in the survival world, and actually thinking about it, in my experience, you're better off doing it in creative. Then you can kind of try something out, and if it doesn't look good, you didn't waste all that time going in and mining all those blocks. So we are going to be building in this super flat world. Yeah, it doesn't look super flat to me either. It doesn't seem to generate super flat worlds. Must be something to do with the biome mod. So I guess I'm going to have to flatten out an area. And, you know, doing it this way is silly. We have building gadgets, right? And we are in creative mode. If I put cheats on, install the configured mod to access config. Okay, destruction gadget. We're using the creative tab. Now, and then we can just use this, right? Yeah. There we go. So I'll clear out just a flat area and we'll start experimenting with some blocks. Right, so this will be surely big enough. I don't think we want to build something this big in our survival world. Maybe. So first things first, we want an interesting shape, like not just like a rectangle or a square. Not just that. We also want, I think, double thick walls so that we've got room to run pipes. Now, we still want to have windows. And we're not going to use stone bricks. Just, you know, we've got exchanging gadgets. We can use them. So we want to have like double thick walls around the place. And then we can still do windows. They do look a little bit weird because you got to do something like that. But I mean, we could, if we had some of these and I don't know, some glass, probably glass blocks if we're doing the big windows like this, we could do something like that for windows. Yeah. And that would be kind of nice because then you get like that little bit of extra depth as well. And then running the cables, yeah, it gets a little bit annoying around the windows because you've got to run it down underneath. But for the most part, our walls would be like this wide, and then it'd be pretty easy to just, and power cables would be there. So you can just sit machines around the place. Or we could do everything underground. That also works, but it could be kind of tidy like that. So let's get a shape. Some sort of, I don't know, I'll start with some rectangles. I mean, I think what this is proving is that I need to get building gadgets in survival world. Because this is nice. This is nice. Now if I turn fuzzy off, connected areas, we'll just build to me. All right, so there's rectangle one. Now this is big. This is big. I mean, by the time you get a couple of reactors in there, though, you've taken up a bit of space. So then I guess I'll like connect another rectangle to it. We just want to make sure it's like an odd number of blocks so that there's a center. There's a center to things. And there we go. I've added in that little side bit, which has got me thinking. I don't normally do like symmetrical shape bases, but what if we did like a big plus sign as the main shape? That could be kind of cool, actually. I haven't done a symmetrical base type thing like that. Yeah, let's do that. Or let's at least see what it looks like, and then if it looks bad, it's creative mode, so we can just, you know, delete it and start again. All right, big plus shape. Big plus shape. And then we can like put some stuff on the outside if we want to. Okay, it's a start. It's a start. I think I'll leave it stone bricks for now. And then let's do the double thick walls. And I'll make this out of a different block just so it's easier to use the exchanging gadget on it. So we have like stone tiles, right? And that has bricks and slabs and walls. Yeah. So let's try this. Whether or not we want all those bits, I don't know yet. And we'll build it up And now how tall? Now, for some reason, I think of like a big, massive, tall structure. So let's, I don't know, we'll try a height and see what it looks like. Okay, so double thick walls. Oh, there's a button that changes the range, which is also my start recording button. So there we go. Now, how does this feel on the inside? It's definitely a little bit smaller, having the double thick walls, but surely that's big enough. We don't have that much stuff. And we can always, you know, go down underground and have a basement. So there's a basic shape. It might want to be higher. Maybe. Yeah. I think one higher makes a difference. That's hard to tell. And then we want some sort of roof. And then I think I want to come up again, but slightly smaller. I'll just try something. We'll see what it turns out like. So if we started, I could just start like here and then follow that same pattern. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. It's a thing. We're definitely going to have to break this shape up a little bit, I think. And then what I was thinking is having like a singular room up the top. And this area is nicer than where our base is in the actual world. Maybe this could be the opportunity to move. Anyway, let's carry on with this. Now, this might get a little bit narrow if we had the double thick walls here. Well, it's not the main area. And I think we're going to have a little bit of extra space to begin with. So, yeah, let's go with double thick walls as well. All right. Now, interestingly, this is a rectangle, which means I think I've built something slightly off somewhere. Totally. We'll fix that in a second. But as a general idea, maybe. I gotta fix this. How did I muck that up? All right, there we go. It was the fact that this isn't completely symmetrical, like this side is wider than this side, that was throwing me off a little bit. So we've got this, which is a basic shape. Yeah. I think looking at it now, this floor is too tall. I think it might look nicer drop down one or two. But luckily this is creative, so it's not too bad to do. All right, so there's a basic shape. And now just mucking around with entrances and windows. I think having like an entrance on every side will be the go. Although the different widths, let's see how this turns out. Might look a little bit weird. That might even be the middle. Now this is a tricky bit. Try to get the windows to look nice. When you've got double thick walls, from the outside, it kind of wants something right up against this bit. Like that's looking better because then this bit here isn't too big. But it's still really it wants, if you're going to do that sort of window, you want to be up here, but then now we're on the inside of the wall, which isn't what we're after. And it looks, I don't know, I don't like the way it looks there. And then putting something in the middle of the wall here might look good, but then it doesn't actually end up in the middle of the wall out here because of the double thickness. But it is handy for running cables, unfortunately. Yeah. Like even here, this really looks like it wants to, I don't know, even be out to there. But then you're hard up against, like the window's up against the wall. It should look something like that. And obviously all opened up, which never figured out. Never figured out how to make this work. Maybe. Now we've got kind of big gaps here. And that's just so we don't end up with like windows hard up against the wall on either side. Like we put one there, but I don't like there only being one gap there. And then if you put the windows there, they end up like here, which is then only not even a one gap, then it's hard up against the wall. So I think, yeah. Alternatively, you could do a big one, but I don't know. I kind of like the one wide ones. And then the top is much easier because, yeah, no double thick walls. Although I don't know about this. But maybe as a basic shape. Maybe. I'm not sure how this is going to turn out. I'm thinking maybe we can put some sort of detail of some description that would go in these big bits. Maybe not that big, but like something could go there, and then it kind of maybe balances it out. I don't know what we're putting there, but we could put some kind of something, and maybe that would look okay. Yeah. Tricky. Guess it's here. Now, so we definitely want to add a whole bunch of details to make it less boring, because at the moment it's like some boxes stacked on top of each other. But I think I want to choose the color scheme first. Why does this look like this? Oh no, we still ended up like that. I guess we could. Ooh, actually, at least then it's a slightly different shape as well if we take these corners out, which might help make it look less like a box, maybe. And you could even do something like that. Maybe. I mean, that definitely looks better. I still don't know if it looks good, but it looks better. But yeah, I think deciding on a color scheme in terms of what do we want to build out of that's not too hard to get, like diamond blocks. Looks terrible, but also hard to get at the moment back in our actual world. And it was about this time that I realized if we see the entire structure in creative mode, there's going to be no reason to see it get built in survival. But we've kind of, I've done some detailing. I'm liking the way it looks. It's a little bit empty on the inside, but we're going to fill it with machines, so I don't think that's too bad. Now, one thing I am definitely going to want is I don't want to reconstruct this from scratch. So we're going to want building gadgets, we're going to want the template thing, and the copy paste gadget, which we should have emeralds somewhere. Possibly here, that'll do. You know what, let's just... Really need to set up the auto trader thing for sticks. So we just have a supply of emeralds. Right, so emeralds, copy paste gadget. We're going to want a template. I think that's actually just made of paper. So that'll be the template. We're going to want the template manager. And charging station? No, this is already charged. Our inventory. Whether or not this is actually going to paste everything in one go, we'll find out. But we should be able to get the materials list of what's going to be required to build this thing. You've got to be careful not to spoil it by showing the thing. So chuck the paper in there. Paste the clipboard. Aha. And you didn't see anything, but that is now the template. And actually, I'll put it back in and push render. And here we go. Oh, it's a harvest moon. Here's some of the things we're going to need. Now, I suspect the dirt is just what was underneath the base. Some of it, yeah. The grass is definitely just what was underneath the base. There we go. There's the sort of amount of concrete we need, which is a fair bit. Yeah, there's several, about 10,000 concrete all up. Now, if we hold this, does this... Hey, it does. Required ascending. There we go. And then we can see all the stuff we're going to need. Ignore these things. That was me trying to figure out how to copy paste this into the world because I didn't want to build it twice. So we are definitely going to need to automate concrete production. I don't want to do this manually. Going to need a whole bunch of bones, which should be simple with our XP farm. And actually, I should check up on that. Oh, the thing is full. We're not too full on armor. It's a nice change. Yeah, we don't need the levels right now. I'm going to start working out how we're going to make this much concrete. We could go fluid encapsulator. It's just water and power. We can get a sink. I'll say a fluid encapsulator, and then we'll probably just auto craft gravel and sand, which we could automate with like pulverizers and stuff. We're going to need a decent setup for this. Right, we are definitely going to want faster upgrades, which actually, let's just speed this up. So we've got a bunch of fluid encapsulators. Water goes on the top, power on the back. I guess we're piping things in the front of them. And then I created the top tier pipe upgrade. So this transfers 130,000 FE tick, which should be more than enough to power these things. Then I crafted the upgrade components, but I want these ones. And then we might also want to upgrade that to the next tier, although Enderium... we should be able to pull that off actually. That shouldn't be too bad. Just so these things are really fast. So I needed a bunch of Electrum and then also Signalum, and that was silver, copper, and redstone. Alright, and then here are some of these upgrades. We're missing two of them, and then I'll have to swap you for this one. We ran out of stuff anyway. And boom, resonant integral upgrades, which will speed these things up, I hope, quite a bit. And then we probably want some of those flux. The speedy uppy ones. Increases process speed. Bunch of these. We just have to go and get the concrete powder, which we can auto craft. We're just going to need a whole bunch of sand and gravel, and then we can say like, hey, give me, it's the wrong grid, give me 30,000 concrete powder, which we don't need 30,000, but it's not going to be a small amount. So I guess I'll get started on that. Probably with the recipes. All right. Well, before the resource grind can start, we need the recipe grind, which gonna be cheap and take those ones out. We should now be able to say, I mean, let's start with like stairs. Like we need 364 grey concrete slabs. Display craftables. So 364 for that. Or actually, I mean, the dye is going to be a thing. That's not too bad. But then if we looked at something that took more materials, it doesn't remember what you said, 2,969 white concrete. 2,699, was that not? Then we'd need 1,300 sand and gravel. And 338 white dye. That actually won't be too bad. Now it's time. Could we upgrade our dank? So this only holds 4,000 of each. Probably worth doing that. We want the auto trader if we're going to do that. And a little temporary setup. You probably want to come out of there. And I assume we want to do something like that. Hop it in. Auto trader. Hoppering in stuff. And actually probably want the double chest on top because it's technically twice as many sticks to emeralds. And then fletching table, fletcher dude. We grab sticks, they go in here. Emeralds come out. Okay, it didn't actually take that long to get the emeralds for that. And then there we go. This will hold now 16,000. And I would feel better about holding 16,000 sand. All right. I think this is the last. That was supposed to be the last thing we needed. Actually, a little bit short of deep snake because we have no power. That's why we ran out of stuff, which will be because none of the stuff's running. Let's just check a little bit of. Oh, you're full of the output stuff. That'll help. Yeah, making tight. Now, I don't know how well the building gadget's going to go putting all this together. And I'm going to have to demolish this stuff, I suspect. I don't exactly know where we're putting this. I was thinking this area. Maybe back a little bit. But I can't fit all of this in my inventory, and I need those last couple of lamps. So I can't fit everything in my inventory. Why did I break? I broke a power cable and didn't hook it back up. That explains everything. That explains everything. So I'm not going to be able to fit everything in my inventory, so I'm hoping I can kind of pick like a target block and keep doing, and I'm hoping I can just keep pasting over and over, like grab some materials, paste on the same block. That's the plan. Haven't tested it. We're going to find out. I think I needed 16 of them. We'll just get some extra. So, lovely day for it. This should be everything we need. I think this is going to be in the way. Or we could go about here, maybe not. Now, I don't really want to spoil it, but kind of need to remember where I put the template manager. Kind of need to position this thing. So we got the template, and then I put it in here. Don't look. And then we load it. Not that button. Then we load it. And then this is in paste mode. We have some frames issues. Now, I don't actually have everything that was in the version I built, but it should be okay. Now, this is massive. Now, there's also like an anchor thing. So this is going to completely ruin the surprise. This is what we're building. It's got some stuff in it. Oh, the frames. That's not a bad location. I can probably even go across a bit so we avoid smushing that. Turn off anchor. If this was about here, we want to go down a block. If we anchor this here, and actually because it's anchored, maybe I can just keep pasting over and over. Let's get a miss that. Oh, I want to see it. It's going to live about there. It's pretty big. It's pretty big. Biggest thing we've built. I don't have like the trees and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, I think that'll be okay. We will want to just clear out one block. No, because the floor's there. We don't need to clear out one block. Now, I don't want to right click with that in my hand. Oops. That button. I think having that in my hand would be a bad time, but we want to get rid of stuff that's gonna interfere. Like trees and grass. Maybe tall grass might get in the way. Definitely no animals. No animals at all. Definitely no tree. So I'm hoping that should be fine. There'll be a little bit of tidying up to do around the place. What is that actually like as a location? That's fine. I mean, the oil patch out the front's probably questionable, but I think this should actually be okay. So, if I was to clear out everything that was not the building gadget, don't put your dank in your inventory. I'll put it in the chest. If I was to start grabbing, let's test this with a small amount. So like some white concrete and some grey concrete. If we just right click, that pastes a little bit. Nice. And if we grab some more white concrete, and then we paste. Okay, there's been some slight duplication of blocks because I didn't actually have them. Oh, unless it picked them up, unless it was still pasting, because it seems to like paste from one side to the other. We might. I don't know if it actually duplicated stuff. Although I don't think I had oak in my inventory. I might be duplicating concrete. It's fine. It's fine. And then we just click again, and it uses all of the stuff out of the inventory. Kind of slowly, and we can watch it fade in, which is pretty neat. That's pretty cool. And then we just start pasting more and more stuff. I hoped that was how this was going to work. We'll come back when I'm finished pasting in the building. All right, the last few blocks appear to have some extras. Which I might have actually just had extras, although I didn't think I did. So this is going to be the new home. Well, it looks kind of complete in here. Got elevators going up. Yep. Plenty of room for machines. This was all grass, which I didn't have in my inventory, so that's to be expected. I guess I could make some trees. I'll probably just plant some trees there. So we need to get some grass and some grass there. Some grass there. And actually, this had ponds. And one other thing that I started doing was I need to turn these redstone lamps on. I couldn't find a good place to hide the redstone torch, so tiny redstone lamps. Tiny redstone levers. Tiny levers. And they're not invisible, but from a distance, you're not going to see that. I need to change the mode of this to not be trying to render that whole thing. Nice. And yeah, I think I've got some extras. I'll try to get some grass in. And let's see how this goes. These also didn't work too good with the copy-paste gadget. And I think I had multiple on here just so it looks kind of like it's supposed to be there. All right. Well, I think I've tidied up the worst of the terrain. I think I actually accidentally cut off some of the structure. There's supposed to be a little bit of concrete there, but yeah, that's it. It's done. It's built. We still have to move into it, but I think that could be a job for another day because I need to get the video out, and I like these tiny little redstone levers. Yeah. Took a little while to get this finished. Still some tidying up to do. I want to put little poles back in here. Chuck some flowers and grass and stuff in here just to make it a little bit more naturey and wait for the grass to grow. And not have wheat in here. It's not supposed to be wheat, but it just filled in the farmland. Yeah, so we got some nice little areas. We can just hang out up here. Whether or not we do much of that, who knows? Maybe I'll end up putting a nuclear reactor there. Although we've certainly got plenty of room, and we could, of course, go further down. I think a basement would be fine, but yeah, we'll come back next time and start moving in. Or maybe I'll mostly move in between episodes, and then we can start setting up like all the automation, and it'll be nice. It'll be nice. I wonder if we can get something that stops mobs walking through, like that dude. But yes, we now have a structure we can move into. Looking forward to getting everything in here and not having nuclear reactors in a field. It seems slightly reckless. You probably shouldn't do that. But anyway, it's been Classic Duff. Thanks for watching, and we'll come back next time for some more All the Mods 9. See ya.